to Cold Turkey and Paulie T. And tonight, on this episode, I'm going to talk about mental health and about people taking their own lives, as it were. It's hard to say the words here on YouTube because we will get shadow banned. But basically, yeah, it's a mental health issue. And there was a lovely tribute put up. I'm going to go up and have a look at it, and I filmed a bit of it. I'm also going to show you a bit of that. It's very moving, and this was for local people that had passed away at their own hands, and it was attended by families and relatives and loved ones of these people. It was very moving. I actually knew a couple of the lads whose names were put on plaques on a seat. But I want to just show this. I want people to be aware where it is and what it stands for, and just a few things on mental health. The prevalence, according to Ireland's Central Statistics Office, the suicide rate has shown fluctuations over recent years. As the latest data, it's approximately 8.5 suicides for every 100,000 people. Men are disproportionately affected, account for about 75% of all suicides. The male suicide rate is significantly higher than that of females, reflecting a global trend. In other words, there's not much different here in Ireland than, say, in America or in Asia. It seems to be 3/4 men and 1/4 female. The age group young adults are primarily a target, are young people, particularly between the ages of 15 to 24, and middle-aged individuals between 45 and 54 are the most vulnerable age groups. The suicide rate among young people is particularly concerning. It's prompted targeted intervention efforts, but really, folks, there's not enough being done, I think, on a care level for our young people in general. We're a rich country. We should be able to have more care facilities for people when they're struggling with life, regardless of what the problem is. When it comes to mental health, we really need safe care spaces for people. Rural areas do get it more, unfortunately they do, than urban areas, potentially due to factors such as social isolation, reduced access to mental health services, etc. But we've no shortage of people in urban communities that end up taking their own life too. There are organisations like Pieta House, Samaritans, and they offer crucial support through helplines and counselling services. Local initiatives, and that's what tonight's about, on raising awareness, reducing the stigma, and providing support networks, and also remembering and celebrating those who have passed. And the man named FRAN, who I had the pleasure to meet a couple of years ago, because he's very heavily involved with the setting up of the Liberty Suit Run. Him and his nephew Chris, who I consider to be really good people in the community of Dublin and more, in town and all over. He's put this together with other people, and I don't have all the details and facts, but it's more about what they've done, and I want to show you a bit of that night as well. It's really quite important. But I'm going to take you down and show you where this is as well. I want to head up to School Street and see what. I'll have a look at this beautiful little bench, monument and tree, and what it represents. Shiva, where were you?
I'm alright now, I'm just getting some stuff.
I saw you were closed. I'll see you later. I'll be into you.
Yeah, that's the mic.
I'll be into you in a bit. And right over here, guys, on Patrick Street, is Gulliver's coffee shop. So Robin and Julie there hooking me up with some of the finest coffee in Dublin here at Gulliver's. And let me tell you guys that might have a cynical and think this is a paid event. It's not. I just love this little coffee shop. It's new, they're local. Meet the girls. It's Robin and Julie. So that was a great cup of coffee. Yeah, Gulliver's Patrick Street, check it out. Great staff in there. I yapped the head off them this morning. But yeah, it's cool little spot in Dublin. So we're just heading up now through old part of Dublin here. These little cottages up off Francis Street. Take you guys around to School Street. I love Dublin in this sort of weather. This October light. And a bit of sun. Coming up now onto Francis Street. Great spot of Dublin. It's full of cafes, student bars and antique shops. So where we're going is just across the road here, up the lane, up onto Meath Street, which is taking this little shortcut here. This is known as Engine Alley. Absolutely cracking dry. And then on to Meath Street. So that's Thomas Street up that end, Cork Street down that end, and we're heading over here. Yeah, so this is called Meath Place. It's just up at the top of this street in a little green roundabout. You've got a general little guide now to where it's at. So this is Pimlico, just up off Thomas Street for anyone who should say, and this is the little park, the bench is just here. It's lovely that they did something, isn't it though, to keep people. No. May they all rest in peace.
Okay, ladies and gents, thanks everyone for turning out today. If I get a bit emotional, you're going to have to forgive me because it's very personal, as you know. Very personal to all of us. I'm just going to introduce to you now Councillor Moira Devine. Okay, thanks.
It's great to see a crowd here, and as Fran said, it's quite emotional. I can't remember the year where we all gathered here, but there was a load of us and we marched from here to City Hall and we put up the pictures and the photographs of everybody who'd lost their lives through suicide in this area. It's great to see such a turnout, and I suppose part of me being the psychiatric nurse, you're just looking around and knowing that we need so much more for our communities, for our people, and for those under pressure and under stress. As a politician, or a pretend politician maybe, you know how we've been failed, and the Liberties in particular have been failed because it's been neglected, it's been downgraded, it's kind of, I suppose, wanton neglect of it and allowing it to become a place where some people have lost hope, some people have decided that life no longer gives them a joy, and it's joy that we need, and it's not there all the time because we wouldn't cope with it all the time, but it's a contentment with life, and that's what we all should have. We're short enough in this earth, and a contentment with our relationships, with our families, with our friends, with our environment, with our community. We need that to live as good a life as we can. So I suppose also I wanted to address mental health investment. So community in our well-being takes money, it takes determination, and it takes the will of a government that sees people in distress. In the 90s when I was nursing, I still am, but when I was, the investment in mental health was 14% of GDR. It is now 5.6%. That's less than half. The World Health Organization said that we need at least minimum 12% of our GDP, I think it's called, but anyhow, invested in mental health. And because we know that the stresses of life, the stresses of living in communities that need so much more, so much done, we need places that we can call home, that are comfortable, that are warm, that don't give us illness, that don't allow mould and damp to invade our lives, that are not overcrowded, where we have a home that is suitable to our needs. We're not lying on couches of some mammy's back room, or we're not languishing on a waiting list because we've feckin' failed to build houses for people in this area. There's so many things that decide and make our lives things that we want them to be, that we can thrive, that we can be happy, that we can look forward to things instead of daily the struggle of where am I going to sleep tonight, where am I going to, how am I going to feed kids, what about the cost of living, what about the dampness, what about my chest infections, what about just living in such confined spaces, in places that really feels left behind. So that's enough of the politics, because I work every day along with Angus, and we work 60%, 70%. Did you not even hear all that? 60 or 70% of what we do is to do with housing. That is the biggest thing in this country, and it's something that we're determined to move heaven and earth and make housing for our people. And that begins with social and public housing. After that, everything else sorts itself out. But we need to house, and we need to have, faith and confidence in that we can do it, and we will do it, because hey, we're only here for a short time, and let's make that time count. So I'm just delighted that you've all come out tonight, and thank you. And sorry about the mix-up. The feck-up was on my part, I think. I'll take the blame, Fran. Just to remember all of those who've lost, but also to mark International Mental Health Awareness Day. It's really important. Every other day is marked, and this is the Cinderella of the health services, and always feels left behind. So I just wanted to hand over now to Fran, who's myself and him were the event organisers along with Noel, and I think we said it would cost like thousands if we employed a real event organiser, but I think we're doing okay of a job. Come on.
Absolutely, thank you.
Well done, Nick. I'm not going to go on as long as you did. I tell you, listen, thanks very much to everybody who came. I put the call out on Facebook about maybe a week and a half ago to help people that died by suicide and get their names on the bench, and to remember people that died by suicide, all their families and friends. I'm sure we all know either family members or friends that died by suicide. It's a horrible, horrible thing. Again, I'm going to get emotional, but I'm going to try to get through this. It's a horrible thing for anyone to go through, and I know the people that died by suicide, if they knew that the devastation that they left behind, I know they wouldn't have done what they done. So tonight and this evening is about remembering them and remembering their lives and all the good times that they gave us while they were here. Okay, so yeah, we're going to unveil the bench now. Okay, just take this off. There's a lot of names on it. Just one more thing. I gave a timeline for the names, and I gave the list into the girl that done the plaques for me. And unfortunately, I got a good few names after the timeline. But I was guaranteed today that I will have them either tomorrow or Monday. So if the name of your loved one isn't on the bench tonight, it will be either tomorrow or Monday. I guarantee you that. And I'm really sorry for that. So listen, hopefully the names is here. So let's go. Let's unveil the. You can take photographs there. Come on over closer if you want.
Nobody the stars. Just guessing at numbers and figures, pulling your puzzles apart. Questions of science, science and progress do not speak as loud as my heart. Tell me you love me, come back and haunt me. Oh, when I rush to the stars, running in circles, chasing our tails, coming back as we are. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard. I'm going back to the start.
Give a big round of applause.
Myself, but it resonates with me. So it's one of my favourite pieces, and it's by Nick Bumkowski. Every single day, regular humans lose their life to suicide. They aren't famous and talented designers like Kate Spade. They aren't world travellers, culinary masterminds and storytellers like Anthony Bourdain. You see, it doesn't matter if you are a public figure, a stay-at-home mum, or a guy working a blue-collar job. We all have a suitcase filled with things we feel and think that we don't tell any other people. And it doesn't matter if our suitcase is a designer brand or one we picked up for free at a charity shop. We are all the same at our core. We are all human. We all have a shadow that accompanies our life. Your shadow isn't your enemy, but keeping it silent is. Every single day there are people who don't reach out for help, and there are ones that do reach out for help, but the help isn't enough. Can we save everyone? I don't know. I sure hope that people can learn to save themselves and reach out for a hand to hold when they need it, but there are no guarantees in life. What can we do? We can all unpack our suitcase. We can stop trying to be perpetually positive because it's killing us. When you feel happy and joyful, spread it around like glitter. Sing it, dance it, smile at strangers and let it lift your heart to the sun. And when your shadow pulls at your soul, when you feel dark and alone and numb, be honest, be authentic, be direct in your words to others so they fully understand the emergency you may be trying to alert them to. So many humans have a one-time split-second thought of leaving this earth, but no one talks about it. And is that why so many people die by suicide? Is it only because they were afraid of the stigma? Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe there are depths to their pain that we just can't understand. Maybe they couldn't care less what people thought of their shadow, but they just couldn't take it anymore. My first husband died by suicide. He's gone. And maybe it's because he couldn't find a place to unpack his suitcase. He felt unsure of where he could set it down and still be fully loved and accepted as a man, husband, father and human being. As he died, I experienced my own depression, not just grief, full-on depression, numb, muddy, cloudy, foggy, deadly silent, sitting alone in the dark, wishing the lights would never turn on again, sitting with family or friends who were laughing and carrying on about their lives, and I wish a bus would hit me on my way home. Split-second thoughts of the pain being too much, split-second thoughts about the numbness being an everlasting void that felt endless, split-second thoughts about leaving this earth. There is no shame in your shadow. There is nothing to hide about your very human emotions. We've all been there. Public figure or not, we are the same. We share the stories of public figures that die by suicide because so many people know who they are, and it's a way to get the message of love and hope and knowledge out into this world. Today and tomorrow and the next day we will lose more wonderful and very loved humans to suicide. I don't know how we will make it stop. I don't know if kindness and spreading light is enough, but it definitely isn't going to hurt anybody to get hit by a ray of sunshine and warm love. Unpack your suitcase. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to have thoughts that being human is just too hard today. But you keep fighting, okay? You are loved, so loved. And if you can't stay, I won't judge you. Only mourn for the loss of your amazing spirit. And if anyone who wants to judge someone who unpacks their suitcase, anyone who wants to judge someone living who says they have dark thoughts about leaving this earth, anyone who wants to get online and only has judgments to post about the people who have lost their lives to suicide, get down on your hands and knees and thank whatever higher power that you believe in. Thank your lucky stars that you have never felt this way, because it's horrible. Every single day families are torn apart and children are left behind by suicide. Every single day we all need to keep unpacking our suitcase, be radically authentic and keep speaking our valid emotions. Every day we do need to remember that we are loved, we are born worthy and of value, and that our shadow only wins if we keep it silent. You are not alone. In fierce love and compassion.
We can, just for the awareness of the people out there suffering with mental health. I did as well, because I was an addict for years. I fought and battled with my mind, and I know the dark place that your mind can take you to, and I can just say that it's heartbreaking, because it is possible to recover when you actually start on your road to healing and recovery. You know, you fall many times, but it's the persistence, getting up and fighting on and on. Fighting for your sanity, your soul, your very spirit, not to be controlled by a substance or anything for that matter, and to be able to live your life without the constant mental torment that comes with mental health issues.